Hello and welcome back to What's Next with Ruchira. Today we're having somebody from Bombay, somebody who's a stalwart in the real estate industry, who's going to talk about what Kutch is looking like in the next 10 years from an outsider perspective, from an investor perspective, from a market leader perspective. Somebody who has not just seen Maharashtra but even Gujarat closely as a developer and as a real estate expert. I'm talking of Mr. Nikit, somebody who I have worked with in the past and admire because of his knowledge when it comes to this industry and this field. So come, let's deep dive into the nature, into the lands and into the growth of Kutch. Very, very good evening, Nikit sir. We're very, very honored to have a stalwart of real estate industry like you from Bombay on our show. And today's topic I would like to consider is ki Mundra being the stalwart of growth. Everybody in every part of the country is talking about Adani and Mundra's growth, and also Mandvi, Kutch overall. So your expertise, your insights as somebody who is sitting on the outside but can look at the growth of Kutch. So my first question would be कि आपको क्या लग रहा है, is Mundra's growth stable or very temporary because of the import-export volumes?
Thank you for having me on your show, and even I'm honored to be speaking on this. See, Kutch is my hometown, so definitely I have some soft corner for it, but we've never looked at it as a business till the last 4-5 years back. I have seen Kutch since 2000 and I have seen it grow. Adani Port was also conceived in the similar years.
Yes.
It is one of the fastest growing ports in the country, and the growth is seen for the last so many years, and I think another 25% growth year on year is expected for this current year itself.
Correct.
So I don't see this as just a story. It's definitely the real growth which you're seeing now.
Absolutely. I think, and considering how all of North is mostly focusing on getting export and import done through Mundra, it is going to, I think, flourish in the future as well.
Absolutely.
So, do you think there are any government policies or anything from the government side that is maybe helping Mundra grow, in your opinion?
I've always seen the government of Gujarat as a very pro-industry, pro-growth government, and usually the policies that they come up are definitely pro-growth, pro-industry, pro-business owners, yes. So they're doing their bit, but always for any port or any business or any city or any district to grow, government support is definitely there. And we have good federations who keep updating the government, and government helps in getting those policies framed in a very quick manner. So I see government's role is very important, and they are playing their part.
In conversation further with the port, so you think that port-led infrastructure and development is translating to growth and numbers for real estate in Kutch, in Mundra as well?
Yes, definitely. Any growth in any particular sector definitely helps the real estate. No doubt, port is a very big industry, and this definitely brings in a lot of growth, not just in real estate in terms of commercials, but residential, industrial plots, so warehousing, everything. So
indirectly flowing into every sector.
Absolutely, absolutely. And as we know, Kutch is the largest district with a large land bank, so the growth is exponential.
Absolutely. I think there was a time when everybody, including my family, these were coming to Bombay to find work and opportunities. Now it's slowly turning the other way around. There are bulk of opportunities back home because of this placement.
Absolutely.
So that. And also talking of that, do you think Mundra is also now moving towards another urban structuring? Matlab, if we could use the word ki jahan pehle sirf log दुकान बना के उसमें ऑफिस बना रहे थे, now the next generation especially is expecting more from our projects, from our real estate teams, ki there will be better facilities, better availability of resources. What do you think about that?
In the last 10 years, I have seen in the real estate part, I've seen bungalows which are made to the taste of, I think it can put in shame to some cities also. So this is the kind of choices that the next generation wants, and they are spending on it.
Absolutely.
Obviously, they have a lot of spending power in Kutch, which was not the case before. Commercial developments, you see a lot of complexes in terms of cinema complexes, malls, good schools,
Absolutely.
hospitals. So it's an overall led growth. There is migration, as you rightly said, it's reverse migration right now. But we find a lot of industries being set up here, so which brings in talented people from all over the country and internationally.
Correct.
So definitely, it's a great thing for the industry for sure.
Absolutely, because I feel like not just I think Adani, but Jindal has placed itself there. There are a lot of other upcoming factories to name and not to name. The whole Khavda solar project has like really gotten a good inflow of people from the south, from the western side of India, from the eastern side. That pullout has been very different, very educated, and they are expecting more.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So,
To just put it in short words, there are times when we decide our travel dates based on fares. So we are sometimes spending more than what we would pay for a return ticket to Dubai.
absolutely,
So that shows the growth story of the district itself. That's for
absolutely.
sure.
I think talking of that, considering that now we're going to have an airport in Mundra as well, connecting to Goa, to Rajkot, to Bombay. What do you think about that?
I'm so happy. At least I'll get another choice. I don't have to pay through my nose for this, but definitely it clearly shows that there is business, there are people who want to travel, there is connectivity, and there is growth. So this works perfectly for the city itself.
I think earlier, Kutch had the perspective that second home hai means our older generation would move back to like relax, to get away from the city. But now even the younger generation is now saying, I will come with you, let us explore our opportunities. And that is, I think, where the growth is now picking up even at a faster rate.
True.
So, talking again on our perspective, do you think rental yields and appraisal of property, how is that working? How does that work for real estate in the first place? And also, do you think it will work in Kutch?
So Kutch is on an upward trajectory, according to my experience. And it seems that we see the growth for another 5-10 years, at least, not less than that. And this is basically for the demand that is coming actually because of the industries, because of reverse migration, because of growth.
Correct.
So naturally, the supply till date has been limited. In the next 4-5 years, you could see a rental yield of at least 7 to 10% easily, with a future growth. See, any real estate project usually has, if it's a genuine development growth story, it always appreciates. So land is a scarce commodity. We are not going to create land. So this is where this will always remain.
Absolutely. And right now, like we mentioned, there is a lot of growth. A lot of people are looking at development. We ourselves have a lot of good projects coming up, projects like Seaport, where they're one of a kind landmark projects. There are clubhouses. We're looking at work-life balance. We're looking at hotels coming in because of that. So, ये सब ध्यान में रख के, you think there at any point could be a risk of oversupply?
As long as people in the industry consider this just not as a rat race and just start building everything, I'm sure we have stalwarts from the industry who understand that the growth cannot remain permanent. So as long as the supply is this thing, but at present we are seeing there is quite a bit of demand and supply is a little less compared to what this is. So
absolutely. Taking an example, the developers here, if there is anything we can stand about, there is a stand-apart difference is Hiranandani. So when they started, if you go through the like reviews, interviews that Sir has given, he tells us very clearly that he saw problems of leakage and rain, and he tried to solve it through double layering of walls, trying to solve copper pipes. And so when we bring projects to Mundra, right? What do you think is the differentiating factor, and what is it that is holding our investors to our projects? Be it Seaport, Keshwam, Avana is coming up. It's a beautiful resort in Mandvi. So,
the generation that works now in the real estate industry doesn't want to save in on small petty things in terms of quality. people are ready to spend on good quality of steel. They are ready to spend on good quality of cement. Luckily, in Gujarat, we have river sand, which is not the case in Bombay, which gives a firmness and the other things to the product, the structure. And obviously, we are talking about Kutch, which is in the seismic zone. Everyone has seen the 2001 earthquake. No one wants any repeat of these things. So everyone's conscious about the quality of product, and they do give this. And this is the minimum that any player in the industry would look at. So we are looking at good quality at par to not maybe Bombay, but cities which are growing.
Tier 2,
Tier 2, Tier 3.
And I think I absolutely agree, because in today's generation, even for us, we are now moving from the 60s who are now retiring. They did their projects and they are now settled. Like even my father-in-law, I would consider in that category. And now there is another generation. We're in our 20s, 30s growing. We are now buying offices. So there are a lot of things that we are looking at. So anything you would like to say about Seaport specifically that you think fits in for people like us? Like my perspective, I would like to say is, I think it's a project that fits everybody. If you're a CA in Mundra, or if you're doing import-export, or a warehouse facility, you're looking for a warehouse facility, then also this project fits you. So anything you would like to say about it?
So anyone with a 3 to 5 year horizon and has maybe no plans of business as of now, but plans to do business in Kutch and wants to be a part of Mundra growth should have an asset in Seaport, because Seaport is one of the most premium products that we've come up with. The longest frontage that we have, we are very close to the port, we are close to the highway, and we've given a great quality product which is budget friendly.
Correct.
So a person with a smaller income could also buy an office there, and a person with a good sizable amount can also buy their product there. So no doubt about that.
Yeah, I mean, this is again moving towards our investors from here. If you think about it, a lot of people from Bombay now, especially those that migrated from Kutch, are looking back at movement there, because be it fabric importers, be it other kind of product importers that we are placing, they're all looking at warehousing there, looking at working there. They travel so often, but getting a good choice has not been favorable so far, or dependability nahi thi jo bol sakte ki I know this is a good product and I can invest there. So I think Seaport will change that for our investors.
I'm sure it will, and thank you for at least considering that fact.
Yeah, absolutely.
But we are looking at changing the horizon in terms of the commercial space in Mundra. So let's hope we'll be able to bring in some base value to that.
Absolutely. Moving a switch here, how about we talk about Mandvi as well? Bhuj is most spoken about. Today's day, if there is anything, people are saying McDonald's is coming to Bhuj, there are different brands coming in. So Bhuj is growing in lots of ways because of Khavda solar plants coming in, because of the new projects that are coming up there. But coming back to Mandvi, I think that's very less spoken about, but the growth there is also very exponential because of the new beach festival that happened this year, the sports festival that's coming in. Harsh Sanghvi has told us he will be placing a beach festival there. So I think a lot of foreigners will be now interested to step into Mandvi.
Absolutely. Mandvi is a place where you see greenery, you see a place you would want to live with the lowest AQI that I can think of. You got a beach, so there are activities that keep happening. You have the beautiful Vijay Vilas Palace.
Correct.
If you would have recently noticed in the news articles, we have a lot of large brands of hotels coming in, which was not the case. In Kutch, we had limited hotels which were smaller brand names. Now we have the likes of all 5 stars.
Absolutely.
Thinking of a base here. So no doubt about that. Mandvi is the next hospitality zone of Kutch, and it's bound to grow. And everyone in terms of people who want to enjoy the city or the village life has to come to Mandvi.
And what do you think about the wedding destination, wedding culture coming to Mandvi? I mean, considering the whole, we want to celebrate and people now want to do destinations and all of that. How do you place that? How do we place us?
I think destination weddings is been post-COVID. I think I've seen most destination weddings happening abroad, thanks to our dear Prime Minister, who encouraged us to have these kind of weddings in the country. And I'm seeing that is the kind of projects that are coming up with a minimum 100 key, 200 key projects where you could have your destination weddings, and people are looking at. See, till now, it used to be Udaipur or Goa, which was the hotspot for destination weddings. Everyone is looking at different avenues. And I feel that Kutch, with its weather, with its beautiful landscapes, is surely going to be one of the destinations in future.
Come up, absolutely. And considering now, I think most brand names are in Kutch. Be it Hilton, the Hampton product is coming in. Then we are having Ginger coming in between Mundra and Mandvi itself, and there is Hayat coming to Bhuj. So I think the best of brand names are now coming because they see the value of the land appreciating.
Absolutely.
So I think even Orchid is coming to Mandvi itself. So what do you have to say about that? I think.
So when you have the best of the hospitality guys thinking of putting up base there, there is what I told you, the growth that they're looking at.
Absolutely.
And everyone wants virgin places. Kutch is one of them. The largest district where you could find desert, which is a run of Kutch. Most seeked place that people want to go to. You find fossils of dinosaurs. You have a coastline which is beautiful, which could give Goa a run for money. And you have these natural archaeologist products which are basically people are looking for such things.
Like Dholavira.
Dholavira. You have the mini Grand Canyon that we speak about. So there are so many things that are unexplored and the recently explored ones. So I'm sure.
I think the most talked about one recently has been the flamingo migration that we are seeing. So everybody, like from that road to heaven or the flamingo migration, it has been an attraction for everybody, especially to that side when since we talk about Mandvi.
True.
So do you think all of this will play a value appreciation for Mandvi as well?
100%. There's no doubt about that. Reason being, when there's genuine growth, there is appreciation. When you have a nice product, be it any market, it's going to grow. But here we are seeing from zero to a number. So growth is not going to be in percentile. It's going to be in leaps and bounds is what we see.
Absolutely. And anything in specific that you would like to, like something that would help our investors who are probably watching, that if they are thinking of investing back home in places like Mundra, Mandvi, what would be your piece of advice?
My piece of advice is at least have a small piece back home, because the connections is only when you have something there where you will feel connected. The growth story starts now. If people are looking at a future growth with this particular thing, you cannot miss the bus. So
absolutely.
I'm sure look at good products. There are n number of good developers in Kutch who delivered genuinely good products, and there are many coming up with this. So please feel free to visit those places, assess and judge based on their own this thing. And we have data available with online and on websites itself.
And what do you think is the next big leap for Kutch? Like if we end our conversation towards this side, what is going to be our next big leap, and what is it that you would look forward to if you were investing there?
I'll tell you, industrialization is happening. We have the largest solar parks in the country. I think they would cover up half of Mumbai is what I feel. So if you have projects of this giant size, Kutch is a mineral-rich district, right? So we've got many minor minerals, many major minerals. If there's value addition, I'm sure our government is looking at bringing in, using these minerals. You've seen the geopolitical situation where rare earths and this has become a scarcity. Every country wants to hold on to its own natural reserves. We have plenty here. So why wouldn't we not have industries who will do this value addition? And I'm sure this is going to work. So whatever happens now is, we can see the growth coming in here. So again, I would say don't miss the bus.
Absolutely. And I would also, I think, considering I have been in this space for a while now, I can also say that if we are investors who have a certain sum of money, and where Bombay, Delhi have become very expensive, I think investing back home would be the right choice.
Yes, with a small kitty, you could start here.
Absolutely, absolutely. So thank you so much, sir, for your time. I think it was a wonderful conversation for everybody who is watching, and very insightful, in fact. All these things are spoken about in smaller rooms with a few groups discussing it, but talking about it in the open and, like, sharing the knowledge is what matters. So thank you so much.
Thank you for having me here. Thank you. Thank you.